As the rhythmic clang of hammer and iron faded, Marcus finally looked up from the anvil. Sweat traced a line through the ash on his brow, and his grin broke through the soot. "By Jupiter, if it isn't the potter's apprentice," he called, voice full of rough affection. "Come here, lad. Let me look at you." Lucius stepped closer, the smell of iron and quenched oil thick in the air. Marcus's hand came down heavy on his shoulder, the grip of a man used to command and brotherhood. "You've filled out," Marcus said, giving him a playful shake. "Last I saw, you barely reached my chest. Now you look ready to join the 12th. Lucius laughed. "And you look ready to fight another 20 years, uncle." Marcus's eyes gleamed. "The gods willing, I'll not need to. But..." He turned to a leather satchel resting on the workbench. A soldier never comes home empty-handed. From the bag, he drew 3 wrapped bundles, one small, one medium, one long and narrow. He handed the first to Lucius. The young man unwrapped it carefully, revealing a small bronze fibula, a clasp shaped like an eagle, its wings spread in mid-flight. The metal caught the light like fire. "For your cloak," Marcus said. "Bought it off a craftsman in Antioch." The man swore it was blessed by Jupiter himself. "Might be nonsense, but it'll hold better than a knot." Lucius turned it in his hand, all flickering across his face. "It's beautiful," he murmured. Marcus shrugged, pleased. A man should look sharp, even if he's only turning pots. Rome sees everything, nephew. Best to stand tall when she looks your way. He reached for the second bundle. "And for your mother, something to make her curse me less for taking her brother to war all those years." The wrapping came away to reveal a length of fine wool, dyed a deep red brown, softer than anything the village weaver could produce. "From the markets of Tarsus," Marcus said, his tone quieting. "Tell her it's for winter, and for memory." Lucius swallowed hard. "She'll treasure it, uncle. Truly." Marcus smiled faintly, the years showing in his eyes. "She deserves better than a soldier's cloth, but it's what I could bring." Then he picked up the final bundle, the narrow one, and placed it in Lucius's hands. "For both of you." Inside lay a small wooden flute, its surface carved with winding vines. "Made by a Syrian lad in camp," Marcus said. "He played it every night before lights out. When he fell sick, he gave it to me. Said it should go where the air is clean." Lucius ran his thumb over the smooth wood. "It's beautiful," he whispered again. "He must have trusted you greatly." Marcus nodded. "He did. So now I trust you. Play it for your mother sometimes. Let her think it's me she hears on the wind." For a moment, the forge seemed to still. The hiss of the coals, the low hum of the bellows, all of it softened beneath that quiet. Lucius looked up, meeting his uncle's eyes. The eyes of a man who had seen too many miles, too many faces lost to distance and time. He nodded once, firmly. "I will." Marcus smiled then, breaking the heaviness with a soldier's grin. "Good lad. Now, enough of gifts and ghosts. Cassius will think we've gone soft. Come, help me with this hinge before the day's done. We'll drink at home after." The sun stood high when they left the smithy. Marcus slung his repaired shield over one shoulder, and Lucius carried the bag with the wrapped gifts. Dust rose in faint clouds beneath their sandals as they walked side by side down the narrow road leading home. The sound of the village drifted toward them. Voices, laughter, the clatter of amphorae being moved, the shrill cry of a baker's boy hawking bread. It was one of those rare days when work paused early, a dies feriatus, a half-holiday in honor of a local feast to Fortuna Virilis. Children had already gathered by the old threshing yard beyond the fountain, and the air was full of cheer. Marcus shaded his eyes. He said, "I'd forgotten the games. Fortuna's day, is it not?" Lucius nodded, smiling. "Every year. The lads have been waiting for it. The last time you were home, you were the champion in the foot race." Marcus laughed, a deep, rich sound. "And your mother scolded me for showing my knees to the whole village." "She'll forgive you again," Lucius said, "if you let the boys win this time." "Bah." Marcus spat aside good-naturedly. "A soldier does not yield to farmers. even in play. They turned into the yard, a broad, dusty space ringed by olive trunks and low stone walls. The whole village seemed gathered there. Men sat on overturned baskets, women under shaded awnings, and children darted between them like sparrows. Someone had hung wreaths of bay and laurel from a broken cart to mark the finish line for the races. Lucius's friends called to him as he arrived: Publius, Diodorus, little Maximus from the weaver's family. Each clutched a javelin or a discus made of baked clay. They greeted Marcus with respectful awe. "Is it true you marched to the Euphrates, sir?" one asked eagerly. Marcus grinned. "Aye, and nearly drowned crossing it. Don't do the same." Laughter rippled through the group. Lucius set the gifts aside safely beneath the shade of a fig tree. His mother, Livia, and Aurelia had just arrived together, Aurelia balancing baby Flavia on her hip. Tiberius ran ahead of them, waving his small wooden sword. "Mother," Lucius said, taking her hand, "Uncle has brought something for you." Marcus stepped forward, his roughness softening. He held out the folded red wool. "From Tarsus," he said simply, "for the cold months." Livia's breath caught as she touched it. "You remembered." "I remember everything," Marcus said, his voice low. "Especially what I owe." She smiled, eyes glistening. "Then come, sit with us before the games begin. You must be tired from the road." But Marcus shook his head. "Later. For now, I'll remind these boys what Roman blood looks like." He turned, grinning, and clapped Lucius on the shoulder. "You're with me, nephew. Let's show them how a Varian runs." The youths cheered as Marcus and Lucius stepped to the line scratched in the dust. Publius raised a hand. "First race to the Bay Wreath. No tripping this time, Maximus." Aurelia's laughter floated over the crowd. Even Livia smiled, though her fingers clutched the edge of the wool tighter. "Ready," Publius shouted. Marcus crouched low, his grin flashing through the dust. Lucius felt the old thrill rising, the same he'd known as a boy chasing goats through the hills. "Go!" They burst forward. Feet pounded the earth, the crowd roared. Marcus's stride was powerful but deliberate, his veteran's body conserving strength. Lucius, lighter and quicker, surged ahead. The lane wound past the olive press, over a small rise, and down toward the finish wreath strung between two stakes. Sweat burned his eyes. He heard Marcus behind him, steady, relentless. At the last stretch, Lucius pushed harder, his lungs a furnace. The crowd blurred into color and noise. Then, a hand clapped a shoulder. Marcus had caught up beside him. For an instant they ran stride for stride, uncle and nephew, breath ragged, dust rising around them like smoke. Marcus laughed. "Go on, lad. Don't let an old soldier shame you." Lucius gritted his teeth and drove forward. He crossed the line a half step ahead, collapsing to his knees as the villagers erupted in cheers. Marcus came a heartbeat later, panting, his laughter booming like thunder. "By Mars, you've beaten me clean, boy." Lucius tried to speak, but could only grin. Marcus hauled him up and threw an arm around his shoulders. "Strength and swiftness," Marcus said proudly. "Your father would have wept to see you." Lucius swallowed hard. "I run for him, uncle. Always." Their eyes met. The brief flash of shared understanding that needed no words. Then the games moved on. Javelins whirled through the air, discus discs thudded into the dust, and shouts of victory and good-natured rivalry filled the yard. Marcus joined the older men in a wrestling match, the Pale, where opponents gripped each other's belts and tried to throw the other flat on his back. His opponent, a burly farmer named Quintus, lasted less than a minute. Marcus flipped him neatly and helped him up with a grin. Lucius and his friends played Trigon, a ball game of quick throws and catches, laughing as the clay balls smacked palms and bounced away. Children ran everywhere, women clapped in rhythm, and the scent of roasted grain cakes drifted from the hearths nearby. When the sun dipped lower, the laughter softened into talk and rest. The village boys sprawled in the shade, bruised and happy. Marcus sat with Lucius, cleaning the edge of his shield with a scrap of linen. "Remember this, nephew. Games are more than play. They teach a man his body, his breath, and his limits. The Legion does the same, only with iron. Lucius nodded, watching the shield catch the light. I think I understand, Uncle. You will, said Marcus.